aquariumradio.com.
Aloha, this is Enki. You know me as Aquarius, and this is our age, the Sata Yuga, time to celebrate with us. We have programs on all chakra tantra, love styles and relationship choices, counseling strategies and techniques that you can use at home. We have extraterrestrial radio where we deal with alienology, paranormal people, and we have an experiencers network. We have a section called Ancient Aliens, and the programs therein are Enki Speaks, Nimma, the Mother of Humanity, has her program, and we revise ancient anthropology. And most important of all, we have peace paradigms, because this is the age of peace, harmony and understanding, sympathy and love abound. No more falsehoods or derisions, mystic crystal dreams and visions. Aloha. I'm Dr. Sasha Lessin, Dean of the School of Tantra. On this show, All Chakra Tantra, we explore Tantra in the sense of weaving, being able to center yourself and embrace the opposites within you at each level of your consciousness, each chakra. You learn to work your inner power plants that generate security, sexuality, power, love, communication, vision, and feelings of oneness with everyone and everything. You get all your chakras going together within you and between you and your lovers, and you really connect and feel the spirit. Call in your questions. We're happy to answer them.
Join us on All Chakra Tantra.
All Chakra Tantra.
And here are your hosts, Janet and Sasha.
Aloha and welcome to Aquarian Radio. Today's show is All Chakra Tantra. The title of today's show is Lessons Learned with Past Lovers. Today is January 13th, 2013. It's another beautiful day in Maui, Hawaii, paradise. We are broadcasting live. I'm your host, Janet Care Lessin, and our co-host is Dr. Sasha Lessin. So I'm going to hand the mic over to him, and he's going to explain to you a little bit about what our show is about today. Take it away, honey.
Well, actually, the real title of the show is not only Lessons Learned from Past Lovers, but it's at Lessons Learned from Past Lovers Apply Now. They apply now. We'll go into the content in a little bit, but let's put this in the context of the sequence that we're calling, which is Janet Does Tantra School. And the first day, if you'll recall, and you can get www.schooloftantra.com and pick up, or aquarianradio.com and pick up on the All Chakra Tantra lessons. So that there's two that precede. In the first program in this series, Janet talked what it was like to join the Tantra school, the week-long Tantra school class, and to use role-playing and active listening to develop her skills, but also find out who's there in the seminar. And then we began the arduous process of clearing with our parents so we can distinguish our lovers from our dads and our mothers. And today, we take it a step further, and we look at what we learned with past lovers. And all these things, this is the first 3 days of Tantra school, and there's lots of homework almost all night long. All this is building up to the Tantra date, where we actually do the somatic triggers in the yoni and in the base chakra that will let a person really clear and be ready for full Kundalini and Amrita orgasms. Okay, so today we spend a whole day with, or sometimes 2 days, clearing with parents, and a day or two with your past lovers, so that all this material is super salient, that is close to the surface, and when you get touched inside, all these memories will flood in even greater profusion than if we didn't have this buildup. And so we've done this for hundreds and hundreds of people, so we know what works. And a lot of this is based on both in the childhood clearing and in the past lovers clearing, on the idea that when we're born and when we're very small, we are so vulnerable, totally vulnerable, and the world is big, complex, and way above our ability to even survive or communicate on our own. And so we develop primary mechanisms for dealing with the world, primary sub-personalities or inner voices, like our intellect, our inner critic, our pleaser, our industrious person. And this collection of energies is who most of us think we are. That's our primary selves. They say, who's Janet? And she would tell you these public roles, and you can have different roles and different sub-personalities in different places. So at work, you can be, your industrious side may dominate. At home, your nurturing mother sub-personality might dominate. But whatever your primaries are, there's parts of you that are the opposite. Every sub-self or every inner voice has within you, whether you know it or not, it's opposite. And these opposites are called disowned or underdeveloped sub-selves. And it's when we see, if you're industrious, your sub-self will be kicked back. If you're a pleaser, your opposite sub-self would be the entitled part that doesn't have to please anybody, and so forth. And so when you have this perspective and you look at relationships past, you can see that each person that you've been with as a lover exhibits some of these underdeveloped parts of yourself. And it's really interesting the way this develops, because let's take somebody who's a real industrious, hard-working fellow, and he hooks up with this, he's on vacation, say, and he hooks up with this incredibly free-spirited woman. And she just has fun, and she's in the now, and she doesn't at all worry or concentrate on making money and all the things that he ordinarily deals with. So he is having a ball. He's having fun with this girl, and he's on vacation, left his industrious side home for a little while, and so he's having fun with this free spirit, and she is saying, "Wow, I haven't been with a dude like this before. He actually has a job and makes money. That's really cool. And he spends it freely." Well, when they hook up and they really form a relationship, the very thing that he liked about her, that she was so free and just in the now, he starts to hate. He says inside of himself, she's a spendthrift. She doesn't do any work. I'm carrying a whole load. And she says to herself, he's a workaholic. We used to have fun. Now he's just working and worrying all the time. Well, that is the disowned selves in each person, so that if he learns to do the method that we're teaching you here in this class, if he learns to see that his difficulties with her are because he has a part of him that he hasn't given enough room to in his life, and that's the underdeveloped free person, and she has an underdeveloped part, the industrious, hardworking part, that he is exhibiting, and of course it annoys her now, but if she would just realize, if both of them would realize that each of them carries the other person's disowned personality parts, then they're on the way to developing an aware sense of self, an aware ego. We call it a center, which can embrace both industrious and free. And so what we are asking you to do in today's lesson, and Janet's going to illustrate it, and you can follow it up and do it in depth on our website, theschooloftantra.com, is each person that you've been lovers with will show you some things about yourself. It'll show you the parts of them that were difficult for you, which are just exaggerations of the parts of you that you need to develop. And if it's in the past, maybe you have developed those traits. But if not, it's worth looking at. And all of these things that you've had with other people in your life, parents and other lovers, all come down to, okay, you learned this and that and the other thing. What are you going to do to make this relationship that you're in right now, or the next one that you're going to be in, work? And so that's why we look in great detail at your relationship with every single one of your lovers that are, especially the ones that you have relationships with, and what you learned and how you would apply it to now. And we're going to suggest that you do the exercises with a partner, if possible, and with a lover is the best of all. But if it's a partner who isn't your lover, they could just either role play the lover or program you for this. But you'll check out the cue sheets. But right now we're going to, before we take Janet through an example of how to work this sequence of cues, let's just ask her in a general way, how did this review of your lovers, first of all, affect you in terms of your relationship now, and second of all, did it have any carryover for when we actually did the somatic touch in the yoni massage?
Wow, big questions. Okay, so the first question was
how did reviewing your love life before you got to me help you do better with me?
Well, it helped me clear out some crap that I kept repeating. Taking a look at it, we learn from our history and our mistakes. I was able to determine what worked for me, what didn't work for me, where my relationships had a tendency to get codependent and dysfunctional. And, it was a plan. I can't say that I succeeded 100%, but I was far more clear after going through my history with my past lovers about my behavioral patterns that I had, taken into my being and acted out relationship after relationship. It's kind of like an addiction, though. It's like cigarettes or chocolate or alcohol. You first have awareness and recognize, your addiction or your patterns or your dysfunction. So I was very dysfunctional in my relationships, and so I took it in. I took it to heart, and I looked at all these, especially with getting involved with people that had addictive subpersonalities, and so one partner was an alcoholic, and then getting involved with people that had violent tendencies. So I think the main thing that I cleared in coming into this relationship with you is that I am no longer involved with violent partners. That's an absolute deal breaker, a boundary that I have stuck with.
Okay, and it's also value. You must know that there are no bad inner voices. They may have exaggerated behaviors, because when you push a behavior out of your repertoire, and you pretend like you don't have it, it builds energy and it may burst out. And so that let's take something like Janet is repelled by prior lovers' alcoholism, and so instead of making the alcoholic subself of the partner wrong, what we would do in psychotherapy, we used to say part of so and so who uses alcohol. Do you remember when you were young? Did you use anything else to alleviate your anxiety or make you feel spiritual or make you feel good? And it's, oh yeah, candy. So part that used candy and then went on to beer and then went on to alcohol and then went on to heroin or whatever. Now that we know what your need is, your need has been to make your person feel less anxious and perhaps feel at one with everybody and everything, and the alcohol or the heroin isn't serving your person's ecology anymore. Could you find some other kind of we won't use the word addictive because that's a put-down word, but some other kind of recurrent behavior like yoga or sex with your beloved or drinking water, anything other than alcohol or heroin to alleviate your person's anxiety. And so we work with all parts, and including the part that has violent imagery. Instead of saying, you got to reject that person, you say, go underneath part that has the violent imagery. What do you want and why do you want it? And so we might want to hit somebody, but why do you want that? Because you want that person's attention. Maybe there's some more constructive ways to get their attention. So just be aware as we work through this that there's everything can be worked through if people have sufficient sophistication, or they have facilitators like Janet or I or our teachers, Hal and Sidra Stone, to take you